But the American people sent us here to be their voice. They understand that those voices can at times become loud and argumentative, but they also hope that we can disagree without being disagreeable. And at the end of the day, they expect both parties to work together to get the people's business done. What they don't expect is for one party, be it Republican or Democrat, to change the rules in the middle of the game so that they can make all the decisions while the other party is told to sit down and keep quiet. The American people want less partisanship in this town, but everyone in this chamber knows that if the majority chooses to end the filibuster, if they choose to change the rules and put an end to democratic debate, then the fighting and the bitterness and the gridlock will only get worse. Now, I understand that Republicans are getting a lot of pressure to do this from factions outside the chamber. But we need to rise above the ends justify the means mentality, because we're here to answer to the people, all of the people, not just the ones that are wearing our particular party label.
Let us go no further down this road. I hope the Republican leader and I can, in the coming months, find a way to build a firewall around the legislative filibuster, which is the most important distinction between the Senate and the House.
When you were in the minority, you joined plenty of efforts to filibuster legislation.
The big difference is that we were always willing to negotiate in a bipartisan way. Mitch McConnell isn't.
Why would you not think this is the beginning of the end for the filibuster?
We cannot fail on key things to our democracy like S1, and everything's on the table.
No, I'm not crazy about getting rid of the filibuster. At the end of the day, we have to end the filibuster. It is just unfair and undemocratic for a minority of the Senate to prevent what the majority of people want in this country, in the House and in the Senate.
Everybody I've talked to believe that the legislative filibuster should stay there, and I will personally resist efforts to get rid of it.
I think the filibuster is going to be a defining debate for our party, whether we want to start delivering real results. We need to deliver on the demands, not of Democrats, but of Americans who want to see their government function.
I strongly oppose the filibuster, especially the abuse of the filibuster. It's not so much the use, it's really the abuse that was the trademark of Republicans in the last session, will still in that session. But I would use, as Senator Murphy just said, every tool at our disposal. The rules are the rules.
I've stated repeatedly, literally for 10 years that I've been in the United States Senate, that I advocate abolishing the filibuster or drastically reforming it.
I'm committed to never voting to change the legislative filibuster. I'm not ready to get rid of the filibuster yet. But frankly, Joy, we have to make progress, and we have to deliver on the results the American people are looking for.
What about that nuclear option, doing away with the filibuster?
Well, I can tell you that would be the end of the Senate as it was originally devised and created going back to our founding fathers.
Does it mean you should get rid of the filibuster?
Well, we should obviously take a look at it. If it's going to stop essential business for the United States Senate, we have to reevaluate it.
Specifically, Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution states, each House may determine its own rules for its own proceedings. Precisely. Each House may determine the rules of its proceedings. End of quote. The text contains no limitation or conditions. The clause plainly vests in the Senate the plenary power to defy its internal rules as it sees fit. And the filibuster was just one of those rules. Many of the many rules that vest the minority within the Senate with the potential to have a final say over the Senate's business. It was clear from the start that the Senate would be a different type of legislative body, would be a consensus body that respects the rights of minorities, even the extreme minority power of a single senator. Because that single senator can represent a single and whole state. The way this played out in practice was through the right of unlimited debate. President Lyndon Johnson, the master of the Senate, put it this way: in this country, a majority may govern, but it does not rule. The genius of our constitutional and representative government is the multitude of safeguards provided to protect minority interest. The Senate Majority Leader Howard Baker in 1993 that compromising the filibuster, quote, would topple one of the pillars of American democracy, the protection of minority rights from majority rule. The Senate is the only body in the federal government where these minority rights are fully and specifically protected, end of quote. Simply put, the nuclear option would eviscerate the Senate and turn it into a second House of Representatives. If that were the case, we'd have a unicameral body. It is not only a bad idea, it upsets the constitutional design and does a disservice to the country. No longer would the Senate be a different kind of legislative body that the founders intended. No longer would the Senate be the saucer to cool the passions of the immediate majority. Without a filibuster, more than 40 senators would lack the means by which to encourage compromise in the appointment of judges.